I'm going to call this meeting to order. If you all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Roll call, please.
Alderman Osteen.
Here.
Alderman Hoffman. Alderman Morose. Here. Alderman Barella. Here. Alderman Ross.
Here.
Alderman Rucker.
Here.
Mayor Harmonson.
Here.
You've been demoted.
There you go. All right, citizen communication is first tonight. This is a time set aside on the agenda for citizens and visitors to address the mayor and board on any topic that is not a public hearing. For those here in person, speakers will be restricted to 3 minutes unless otherwise permitted. Minutes may not be donated or transferred from one speaker to another. Any questions or comments for the mayor and the board may also be sent to the city clerk at tberreth@osagebeach.org no later than 10 a.m. on the board meeting day, the first and third Thursday of each month. Submitted questions and comments may be read during the citizens communication section of the agenda. The Board of Aldermen will not take any action on any item not listed on the agenda, nor will it respond to questions, although staff may be directed to respond at a later time. The Mayor and the Board of Aldermen welcome and value input and feedback from the public. Is there anyone here in person who would like to address the board? All right, seeing none, and before we move on to the approval of the consent agenda, I'm going to turn this over to Chief Davis, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Mike, you have a mic? Yeah. Okay. If I could have, well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. We don't have the opportunity to do this very often, but I have some accommodations for some of my staff along with the fire department staff. If I could have Corporal Starnes, Officer Rosenberg, Officer Hutzler, Dispatcher Foster, Paramedic Handy, and EMT Johnson, along with Acting Captain Brad Smith, Josh Johnson, and Matt Mara come up for a second. So I'm going to read their accommodations. I'm going to be presenting them tonight. On June 15th, 2024 at 5:57 a.m., dispatcher Wendy Foster received a 911 call about a 62-year-old male who had collapsed and was unresponsive in a unit at the Ledges condominiums. Dispatcher Foster immediately dispatched police, EMS, and fire units to the scene, then returned to the caller to obtain additional information about the patient. It was determined that the patient was not breathing, and Dispatcher Foster instructed other individuals in the unit on how to administer CPR. Officer Rosenberg, Officer Hutzler, and Corporal Starnes arrived on scene at 6:05 a.m., immediately assessed the situation, and continued providing CPR while utilizing their department-issued AEDs, and the AED identified a shockable rhythm. The officers administered a shock and continued CPR until ambulance and fire personnel arrived on scene. Paramedic Floyd Handy and EMT Allie Johnson, along with Osage Beach Fire Protection District Acting Captain Brad Smith, firefighter Matt Mara, and firefighter Josh Johnson, continued advanced life support protocols. CPR was continued and additional shock was given by paramedic Handy, converted the patient's heart to an organized rhythm prior to transporting him to Lake Regional. The patient was stabilized and later flown to University Hospital in Columbia for additional treatment. Due to the actions of the bystanders that witnessed the medical event, the 911 dispatcher, the first responding officers, and the EMS and fire district staff, the patient had a successful outcome and is here today with us. The initiative, presence of mind, teamwork, and professional competence of this group of individuals made a difference and saved the patient's life. You're all commended for your actions in this stressful situation, and I extend my sincere gratitude and congratulations for a job well done. Congratulations, guys. So. And tonight the Burtons are here with us, and I believe Tammy and Chad, would you like to say anything?
Thank you for, first of all, for having us, and Tommy for helping to coordinate and arrange this. The sincere gratitude I have for this team. The letter I wrote was to try to kind of put what I remember into words, but it's amazing what comes over you when an event like this happens. You're not prepared for it at all, and it started with the 911 call and being able to be calm enough. But I remember putting the phone, and he wasn't breathing, and we're like, what do we do? They're like, start CPR. Thank goodness my daughter was there and her friend, and we started. But with that, Officer Rosenberg, was in our house and moving and taking charge. And from there, EMS and then the firefighters, they worked seamlessly. And the gratitude I have to see such professionalism and respect. And the fact that when I called to follow up, Floyd even remembered my kitchen and asked about how his fall might have impacted his neck. And I'm thinking he remembers that a week later. Wow, what did these people do? What you're impacted by every day to save so many lives. So, thank you. Thank you.
Much of a public speaker, but all I can say is I'm forever grateful for all these people that saved my life and changed my life now forever. So I can be here for my kids and my wife and watch my daughter grow up and my son grow up and try to be a better person. So what you all have done has made a difference. And all I can do is say, I love you so much and I appreciate it so much. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. We have a great team, guys. Good job.
Well, congratulations to everybody, and I'm glad you're here too, sir. Do you want to take a couple minutes? You're welcome to stay the whole meeting. If you would rather leave, we can take a couple minutes while you leave before we do our meeting. You're certainly willing to stay, but I don't want you to feel like you're obligated to.
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
They're all like,
Oh, there's some good stuff in here, guys. Come on.
Ain't that good?
I'd be out of here if I was them.
Dang, I needed a minute to.
Way to go, Puddin'.
Name. I had that door shut. Hey, Tara, is that door on if we shut it? Because I know they're going to be 15.
I've been put in for 25 years. Hutzler was the Jones on here. Used to be the head of security at Topsider. Brad Smith, as you know, is my neighbor, my past neighbor.
Okay.
These two got me in.
Gotcha.
Cardiac arrest.
Cardiac arrest.
That's awesome.
Wow. I walked in. I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, now this is a letdown.
All right, thank you, Tara. Chief, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Tough act to follow. All right, we're going to move on to our meeting now. Has the board had a chance to review the minutes from the Board of Aldermen meeting July 2nd, 2024, the bills list from July 18th, 2024, and Alderman Hoffman, is the one liquor license in order?
Honestly, Tara, is it? I think it's the one I already signed, right? Okay.
All right,
Sorry, Ms. Mayor, it was from a little bit further back than I was remembering.
no worries. Any comments or questions on bills or the minutes? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Alderman Morose, second, Alderman Ross. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, consent agenda has been approved. We only have 3 things on the unfinished business list tonight. First, we have Bill 23-43. It's an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending Section 115.110 vacancies, interim appointed officials, Section 115.185 temporary absence, acting city administrator. This is the second reading. City Attorney Cole Bradbury, please.
Nothing further, Mayor. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Comments, questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker. Alderman Barella, second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Barella.
Yes.
Alderman Ross.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
All right, second reading is passed. Next, we have Bill 24-46, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending Section 2 Water System, Section 3 Sewage System, Section 4 Storm Drainage, Section 5 Roads, Street and Parking Areas, Section 6 Road Cut, Utility Trench and Excavation Permit to the Osage Beach Design Guidelines. Second reading. Assistant City Administrator Mike Welty, please.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. I have nothing to add other than to say thank you to the board. Thank you to the Planning Commission. This has been a long process, and these are much needed changes, so we are very appreciative. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Anything from the board? Alderman Morose.
The only comment that I just want to reiterate that I think I mentioned it to Zach last night about comparing the plans that the fire department has for the fire hydrants and what we have to see if we're on the same boat. Yeah, thank you.
All right, anyone else? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve second reading? Alderman Morose. Do I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman. Roll call, please.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Barella.
Yes.
Alderman Ross.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
All right, second reading passes. Last item of unfinished business is Bill 24-47, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending Section 705.250 meter installation and maintenance, Section 705.310 water fees, Section 710.190 connection cost and liabilities of the Osage Beach City ordinances to match changes made to the Osage Beach design guidelines. Assistant City Administrator Mike Welty, please.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. The mayor said it all. These are just some minor changes that coincide with the design guideline changes. I do recommend approval.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion or comments from the board? Alderman Osteen.
Just one comment under section 705.310 under the water fees. I'm a little confused on the verbiage under section B that states the fee includes cost of the meter labor provided by the city. So
That is correct.
So I'm interpreting how to read that as it basically we're installing the meter?
Yes, we always have. This is just cleanup in the verbiage. So we've always installed the meters. Now the ordinance matches that.
Okay. I just thought it read odd, the meter labor. That's all.
All right. Anyone else? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve second reading? Alderman Ross, do I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman. Roll call, please.
Alderman Ross.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Barella.
Yes.
All right, second reading passes. First item under new business, this is a first and second reading, is Bill 24-48, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending ordinance number 23.90, adopting the 2024 annual budget, transfer of funds for necessary expenditures for various accounts. City Administrator Gina Woods, please.
Yes, Mayor, members of the board. This is kind of a follow-up cleanup budget request. I am requesting first and second reading just because I'd like to have it approved and have included in the July financial statements. I've summarized the need for these. A few of them is carryover, repair and maintenance account, and then some other projects that have already been approved through the board. Happy to answer any specific questions you may have on it.
Comments, questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve first reading?
So moved.
Alderman Morose, the second. Alderman Ross. All those in favor?
Aye.
First reading passes. Second reading, same bill, Bill 24-48, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, amending ordinance number 23.90, adopting the 2024 annual budget, transfer of funds for necessary expenditures for various accounts. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve second reading?
Motion to approve.
Alderman Rucker, do I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Ross, roll call, please.
Alderman Varela.
Yes.
Alderman Osteen.
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yes.
Alderman Morose.
Yes.
Alderman Rucker.
Yes.
Alderman Ross.
Yes.
All right, second reading passes. Last item under new business is Bill 24-49, an ordinance of the City of Osage Beach, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign a contract with Construction Concepts Corporation for the park and bathroom project for an amount not to exceed $156,897. This is the first reading. Assistant City Administrator Mike Welty.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. This project was advertised in late May. We opened the bids in late June. We did receive 2 bids, with the low bid being Construction Concepts in the amount of $156,897. You may remember Construction Concepts was recently awarded the Grand Glaze roof project. I wrote this before I brought that to the board, and so that's why it says we hadn't worked with them in a while. But we just awarded a contract to them 2 meetings ago. This project would add a bathroom to the park maintenance building, toilet, urinal, shower, sink. It's the maintenance building in the back of the park behind Soccer Field 3. I did check the references, found no problems. We've Mayor and board, we've bid this project out 3 times now. This project, that the price that you have in front of you is the lowest that we have received during those 3 bids. The budget for this project is $107,000. It's actually $104,005 for the construction, $2,500 for the engineering. I've put the details there at the top. We are over budget. You may remember that we recently brought forward the pickleball and wall stabilization project, which did not pass because it was excessively over budget. What I am proposing here is to use the money that we were going to use for pickleball to help offset the overage here of just over $50,000. We talked about this last night. Pickleball is kind of being redesigned at a different location, which will come to the board later, but that probably isn't, that's definitely not going to happen until 2025. So if this was approved, we would use that money now to offset the overage for the addition here, and then we would simply rebudget for the pickleball courts in a later year. There's been a lot of discussion about this. There's been some concern about the bathroom. I want to talk a little bit about this project and make sure everybody understands what's going on here. The bathroom that we're putting in for this for our park people does include a shower. The shower is a simple concrete shower with one shower head and a shower curtain and a rod for that curtain. The equivalent cost to put the shower itself in is less than $5,000 of the total project cost here. Most of this cost is in the grinder station that has to be installed for the bathroom and running that sewer line through the creek so that we can connect this bathroom, the toilet, the sink, the shower, to the sewer system. Now, we have the police department, they have bathrooms. The ambulance department has bathrooms. Public Works has bathrooms. Your Parks Department, all of those have showers with bathrooms. Not only has your Parks Department never had a bathroom, but they've never had a shower either. Now, these are the people that are taking care of your fields all summer long. They are dealing with fertilizers. They are dealing with pesticides. These are things that get on their clothes. Most of them bring a second set of clothes to work every day. So while I understand the price, and if the board doesn't want to pass this for price, no one would bat an eye. But I just want to make sure you understand it's not the shower. It is truly the rise in cost of materials and the connection to the sewer. So I do recommend approval. If you have any specific questions related to the park and the job that those guys do, Eric is here, and I'm sure he can answer any questions, Mayor. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Eric?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just want to remind the board that the Parks team, when they have to use the bathroom, they have to drive a half a mile away to the concession stand. So think about how many times you all have to, and I myself, you all have to use the bathroom throughout the day, and imagine having to do that. Now, emergency situations, and I hate saying this out loud, but they have to step behind the maintenance shop, which think about in the wintertime and it's 30 degrees. I mean, our parks team works extremely hard maintaining your city parks. You drive through and you look around and it's kind of take it for granted, but there's a lot of work that goes into maintaining our parks, manicuring them, and it's a lot of out of sight, out of mind work, you know, but we have a great team. And I really think, you know, we need to give them a better work environment, you know, and give them some dignity. So I strongly hope the board will consider all this and consider approving this. And again, happy to answer any questions you might have.
Very good. Alderman Hoffman?
You tell me how much the grinder station, everything but basically what I'm seeing on the schematic, like how much is that?
Grinder station is about $20,000 of the total price.
Okay, so you're telling me that this here is 100,000? This is all, you know, the toilet, the two toilets, the shower, the mop sink, the door, the floor, all that is how much?
Again, I don't know. This was bid altogether, so I'm not going to sit here and speculate on that because I don't know that price. What I do know is that the majority of the cost is in the grinder station and then running the sewer line to connect to our existing sewer, which again is across the creek on the other side as you kind of go back to the back of the park there in that undeveloped area. So those two pieces, along with just the general cost of the materials, you know, the materials to put the roof on, the materials to build all the walls, the materials to build you know, the interior, is where the cost is. I specifically asked Dave Van Leer before this meeting how much the bath or the shower would cost, and he said the shower itself and the installation of the shower is less than $5,000 of the total cost of this project.
Okay, and even if we were just to put one bath, you know, just a toilet back there, we'd still have to put a grinder station in and all that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, that's all I have. Thanks.
Anyone else? Alderman Rucker.
How many bids did we get, Mike? Because I didn't see a tabulation sheet or
Two.
how we're looking at.
Two. The bid tab should be in there.
Oh, so there's no breakdown to it, though. I guess that's where, a lot of our bids will have breakdowns to it that would help identify that question, but I guess there's no breakdown to their bid.
So if you remember, after the last time that we did this, we had decided to take another approach in hopes that smaller contractors would do this.
Right.
And so we changed this from our regular contracts documents where it breaks out each item and just did it as a lump sum. And instead of using bonds, we're using other methods to ensure that we hold enough money until the project is over so that we can get the work done. And so that's why you see that way, sir.
I do remember the board say, I don't know that we authorized it, but we were aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know what that meant, I guess. And that's what it means. That makes it, like you said, that makes it more appetizing for the smaller guys who don't have to go through all the nitty-gritty to bid it and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's a little bit more than what we expected, but it's also a little bit, you know, what we expected was based on what our engineering estimates were. And it's something we should have done, it's something should have been done when the building was built. So we should have been done a long, long time ago. I totally support this.
Alderman Barilla.
Well, I'm all for Eric and, his crew at the parks getting a restroom, not having to use the public facilities. The cost is a little concerning, I think, and because there's not really a breakdown, I guess one question I had was if Public Works was gonna be running any of the lines, or is that just all through the contractor and the whole thing and all of it, or is there any way to help with that cost of?
Well, before this project started, we had already had the water department run the water line all the way up to the building. So we had done that last summer in anticipation for this, in hopes that we would cut some of the cost out of this, and we did, but we couldn't do that with the sewer. It was just too much for our crew at that time to kind of handle. So.
Alderman Hoffman.
If we were ever to put a bathroom facility down there in one of the two soccer fields, would that grinder station be used for that?
Yeah, I would say it's probably too far away.
Probably. Okay.
Yeah.
It would.
Would the line go by?
It is possible that there is a sewer line that goes down the front side of the park, but I don't know that right now. Alderman Rucker, I'm sorry.
That's right. Alderman Ross.
So, Mike, when you say it needs to cross the creek, in my mind, there's more than one creek down there. There's one behind for example, the concession stand, although it may not really run as much as the other one. So I'm not sure I understand where it is that we're having to run this sewer line to and from. I mean, I know where it's going to originate at the toilets behind the building that we're adding on to, but where does it go from there?
So if you remember, we had replaced that culvert a couple years ago that we have that leads you back to the back. That's the creek I'm talking about. So the sewer is on the other side of that creek.
So where's the sewer for the public restrooms now at the field house or concession stands?
So they come down Hatchery, and then they cross the creek right there behind baseball field number 1, come up along the sidewalk to the station that is right in the back of the park. Does everybody know where that memorial bench for a former alderman is right back there? It's just kind of catty corner off the side of that bench.
So that's a lot further distance, I would assume, because I would think going underneath the creek has got to be expensive.
Yeah, no, that if we had to run a line from that station, it would be, I don't even want to guess. Yeah, like half a mile.
So I will just say that I don't know that at the end of the day, the first time I got on this, Eric and I were standing down there when I visited the park, and there was no water and there was no bathroom, okay? With the chemicals they had, there was just a little wash station, I think 3 bottles or something in a metal shelf, and it felt like that we should be able to do something more. It feels like that we have designed something a lot more than what we need, and I'm not convinced that there isn't going to be a time, because that is some very good ground down there. It's the flat ground, if you will, that we're going to add this at this level, and we're going to be looking at ourselves going, well, we're going to tear it out now. Okay. What I imagined was a restroom with a door and a sink and a toilet. Okay. And somehow it became a huge addition onto the building and at least $150,000. I would ask this question: if we were to install the line ourselves, we're much more staffed. I realize that we may have to fit it in with workload, but any idea how that might reduce the cost if the line was there and the contractor didn't have to install that line?
Yeah, I really can't intelligently speak on that. I will tell you that this is not a large bathroom. This is just a toilet, a sink, and a small shower right beside it. The footprint of this is maybe 10 by 20. So this is, it might even be smaller than that. So it's not a large bathroom.
It appeared to run the width, if you will, of the building. Am I wrong about that? That's what it appeared to be on the plans.
Runs the width of the break room, maybe a little bit wider. I don't know if you remember that, Joel. It's the grinder station.
Well, I realize
Sewer
whether
line.
we install it or somebody else installs the grinder station, there's some cost that's gonna be, and we're not in the habit of building grinder stations. I get that. That's poured concrete. But digging sewer lines and laying pipe isn't something that we are averse to doing. We've done it many times, whether it's water or sewer. I'm just not convinced we thought hard enough about this at this point. That's all, that we've got the best value. That's all I have. Thanks.
Any other? Alderman Osteen.
I'm going to piggyback on something Alderman Ross just said. A department that's handling hazardous materials, I think it's imperative that we have a shower, not just a sink. If somebody spills something that's a burning effect material on their legs, they're supposed to jimmy up a leg and stick it in a sink? I don't believe so. Yesterday in our strategic planning sessions, what are some of the key points we talked about? It was attracting the best of the best. It was offering the best work environments to attract the best employees you could possibly have. Now, if we pride ourselves on our park systems and basically we're letting them know up front, guess what? You're going to come work for the department that we don't have running bathrooms. Chemical spill on you, get in your car, drive half a mile away to deal with that problem. And guess what? That's at the concession stand. Lord help you if there's a game going on or a tournament because you may stand in line for your emergency purposes. So I understand the concerns about the costs, but this is something I think we've been talking about for a year and a half. And to me, it's kind of embarrassing for the staff that they don't have a facility on the premises where they work the majority of their time. I just want to throw that out there for thought because this goes back to providing the best work environment to attract the best employees possible. And I think it's kind of a blight that we have a large facility with multiple people that work out of on a daily basis with no working restrooms. Or, like I said, a facility should there be an emergency situation where they need to bathe or wash off hazardous materials. That's all.
Any other comments or questions?
If I could.
Alderman Hoffman.
Yeah, I actually walked in here kind of leaning towards not supporting this. But you're right, cost of materials have gone up and the money is coming from somewhere else in the parks. And those pickleball courts, I really didn't think were right to begin with. So it's not like we're taking money from CIT to do this. We're not taking money from somewhere else. This is coming from your own pocketbook, in a sense. And I agree with what Alderman Osteen just said. We did talk about that as strategic planning, that we want to attract the best of the best and brand our parks. And I think this is a moment to take that to heart. So I do support this.
Any other comments or questions from the board? Alderman Rose.
I would just like to move forward that we accept this proposal. I'd like to make that motion.
All right. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I second it.
Alderman Rucker. Any further discussion? All right. Let's do a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Osteen?
Yes.
Alderman Hoffman?
Yes.
Alderman Morose?
Yes.
Alderman Barella?
Yes.
Alderman Rucker?
Yes.
Alderman Ross?
Yes.
All right. Very good. First reading passes.
I think we could state a lot of those were hesitant yeses.
I'm sorry? What do you say?
I said I think we could state a lot of those were hesitant yeses. I always like to put adjectives before mine.
The scope of work was never right.
All right. Now move on to the departmental update list. We'll start off with our city attorney. City administrator,
It's a
Dean Wood.
job change for like next couple weeks.
You got promoted or
Totally
demoted, I don't
swapped
know.
Just a couple of things. One, I want to introduce Madeline Massou. I so apologize. Every time I say it, I get it wrong. Or Maddie, as we call her. She is interim for the time being HR generalist, so it's her first meeting. Welcome, Maddie. The other thing, I just think it's ironic that my very last first and second reading was a budget amendment, so that was very appropriate. Other than that, that's all I have.
Very good. Assistant City Administrator Mike Welty.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a couple of things that I want to talk about today. First of all, I want to make sure the board knows that the Osage Beach Road project, the notice to proceed is for July 22nd, and the contractor is eager to start. We talked to the contractor about the changes that the board wanted. He's certainly fine with it. Cochran has completed the change order. The change order will add just over $100,000 to the project to do the things that the board wanted to do in addition to what was already there. And that change order will be on the next board meeting. We're going to do first and second reading so we do not hold up the contractor and get him going right away. And second of all, I want to recognize Zach Wilbur. Zach and I and several other staff members were on a conference call earlier today with OpenGov, and we are going to be moving out of the test phase of that project and bringing that live. We've been using it now for, what, 3 months now, Zach? And I'll tell you one thing for sure. This project would not have happened if Zach hadn't have pushed it as hard as he did and got his guys straightened out and got it going the way it did. And it has turned out really well. So we're going to be moving into phase 2, which is adding parks, airports, and facilities and fleet to that. That's going to start sometime in September. So we're excited about that, but it wouldn't happen without Zach. So I wanted to recognize Zach. And last but not least, I want to thank Gina for her service to the city. I have worked for her for a very long time. And
It's not ageist,
it's
Mike.
been,
It's not ageist.
it's been wonderful to work for you. Thank you so much. That's all I have.
All right. IT, Michael Bean.
Can we back up 1 second? Sorry, this is for Mr. Welty. Going back to the department update list, doesn't this mean as of today we can cross off the guideline revisions for water, sewer, erosion control? There was quite a few on here that I'm thinking, haven't we now?
Absolutely.
I was going to wait till
Which ones, is streetlights still applicable?
Streetlights is still applicable,
Okay.
yes.
well, we can cross off 3 of them, which, as you know, this list is something I constantly revise and review. So kudos. Good job, guys.
That deserves a standing ovation.
Michael.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. I also want to thank Gina for everything. It's been a great 6.5 years working for you, and I wish you nothing but the best. Also want to commend Forward Slash. They were on site today for 5.5, 6 hours, helping everybody with our 2-factor authentication. Thank you for everyone that made the time to come in and meet with them. For those that didn't, please know they'll be reaching out to you by phone. We have one YubiKey user being Bob, so please come and see me or Travis, and we'll sit down with you specifically.
Always lagging behind.
But again, thank you, everybody, for giving them the time and the attention, and thank Forward Slash for sending 2 of their better staff down here, 2 of their staff to come and assist us. So thank you.
Very good. All right, Human Resource, Maddie Musso.
Hello, everyone. I don't really have any updates. This is my first meeting, so I'm getting my toes wet with everything. But glad to be working with all of you right now. And Gina, it's been great working for you for a few weeks.
All right, Eric Gregory, Parks.
Yeah, Parks team's been very busy keeping up with Ballpark's national contract, adult softball leagues 3 nights a week, weekend tournaments every weekend. But we're surviving and continuing to work with Cochran Engineering on the design and engineering for the Phoenix Park improvements, and we'll have an update for the board in August on that. And we may have something, donation project that may or may not happen, but we'll have information on that in the near future, and keep our fingers crossed. That's all I have.
Very good. Public Works, Zach Wilbur.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the time of year everybody earns their paycheck and then some, so everybody's been working really hard, and we're thankful for the break in the heat. We actually just got the sewer camera in this last week, and it's been great. So they've got some training on that. They've already used it a handful of times. It's helped us with a few projects, mysteries that before we just had to dig it up, but now we can just send the camera down and check it out, so it's very cool. We really appreciate that. It's been helpful so far, and we can already see the value in it, so thank you.
I have one question for you, Zach. How many pumps do we have operating in Sands right now?
2 pumps, 2 pods.
We can't get the third one up?
No, we have 3 working pumps, 2 working pods.
Okay.
Best we could do right now is 2 pumps with 2 pods.
When do we expect to have the third one? Do we have any idea?
It's the problem with the panel. They don't make the parts for it anymore, so we're going to have to manufacture a bus bar for it. Can't order it, so Steve Durbin, we're hopeful that he can get something working with it. But yeah, right now it's an electrical issue that we can't solve just by throwing money at it. It's going to take them out of the box.
Do we need a machine shop to do that?
We're going to have Steve look at it, and then hopefully we can weld it, machine shop, something similar to that, yeah.
Just to remind you, Mr. Blank, or Terry.
Yeah.
He might be
It'd
willing to help.
come in handy, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Right? All right, he ran a machine shop down there. That's all I have, thank you.
All right. Airport, Ty Dinsdale.
I really don't have anything newsworthy this evening, but thank you, Gina, for the leadership and all your help and everything. Thank you.
All right, City Planner, Carrie Patterson.
Yes, just want to let the board know that we will have a planning commission meeting in August. The owners of Topsider have submitted an application for an amended PUD that includes some additional acreage to the property, which is a positive, and give us some more options on what they can do and what the city can get done there, including in flexibility with accessibility to the property and some different things like that is a huge plus. So that packet will go out the first week of August. If you get it and take a look at it and have any questions, feel free to give me a holler. And that's all I have tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Alderman Rucker.
Excuse me. A couple of things. First of all, I want to piggyback on what Michael said from IT. They did send their good staff out because they straightened me out, and they were able to make my system work, even though after I went home it didn't work and I had to bring the computer in with me, which it works. So kudos to them. I understand it. That's what's even more scary. So kudos to them. Just want to give a shout out to MML and advise the board that we are members of MML. Each and every one of us have the opportunity to be able to get onto their site. How you do that? Contact Tara. I can get on mine, but I don't know how I did it. But I click it on now, so anyway. I'm not the IT person, but there is a lot of good stuff on there, and it was kind of ironic. I went home last night after I bit into a frozen piece of fudge and broke my tooth off. Sat down at my computer and read a nice article in there about the roles and responsibilities of an alderman and the staff. And I thought that was ironic with our discussion we had yesterday. And it was a very good article, a lot of good information in there, and I would just say that it might be good reading. Last thing I have is, I don't know who to direct this, well, Gina, I directed to you, but I'm sure you'll have to maybe go to Devin or whatever, but could we get provided to the board a transitional time frame and process that's going to happen between our city engineer and Cochran? Yep. Because right now I know that we are having them both, and so that's some expense that should be changing. I just wonder when and where and what time frame. Okay. Thank you.
All right, and speaking of Cochran, I failed to ask Cochran if they had anything tonight. All right, thank you. All right, Alderman Varela.
So where are we Todd, thank you for putting that together. It was very heartfelt and enjoyed the story. Other than that, I think weather's supposed to be good this weekend, busy weekend again, and hopefully the rain stays away and everybody has a safe and beautiful weekend.
All right, thank you. Alderman Hoffman.
Yeah, I walked in a little late and saw this place packed, and I was, what is going on?
It's always scary.
Are we back on loggers? What is going on in here? But wow, we always say that we've got a great staff here, and it's never been more obvious than tonight. And kudos to your team, the fire team, everybody. And very happy that gentleman is still here delivering a message. So that was great. I'll just give everyone a heads up that Eric and Mike and I have been, and our city engineer too, Drew, been working pretty diligently to bring plans for a dog park forward. It will be either a discussion piece or a first reading at the next meeting. Discussion piece. We have a donor, a sponsor that we're hoping is going to be footing a majority of the bill, and it looks very optimistic. And I want to thank you guys for your hard work on it. We really put some time and effort into it, and I'm very excited about it. And I think the board and our staff is going to see that, and I think it's going to really bring something to the community. And our lofty goal is to try and have a grand opening with the mayor and his big scissors at the Fall Festival. So we can tag team it with Fall Festival and make one big, great event. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Other than that, thanks for everyone for working hard on the strategic planning meeting. It went really well. We got out of there before 4 and accomplished a lot. So that's it. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you. Chief Davis, did you have anything?
Just, I think I talked too much earlier, but great job to our team. You know, that's what we're here for every day, is to have outcomes like that. Gina, it's been a great, 20-some years with you?
22 plus.
We've been here the entire time together, so appreciate everything you've done for us.
Good.
And I will be out of the office the next 2 weeks, next week at a conference, and then vacation the last week of the month. Lieutenant O'Day will be acting
Well, I
chief
really
when I'm
won't
gone.
see you.
I know.
I mean, this is my last meeting, but I really won't see you.
All right, very good, thank you. Alderman Osteen.
I've got a few things. I'll make them quick. First of all, Zach, this is the first time I've ever seen you without a hat. Shocking and jealous. Secondly, I would like to remind all department heads that when we come to department updates, this is the time in the open forum for you to recognize employees within your departments. At our strategic planning session yesterday, not all of you were in attendance, but I did make a point of stating that was brought up over a year ago, that a lot of times, I think it's maybe because they're at the end of the meetings, sometimes 2 hours later, 3 hours later, we just want to get out the door. But, you know, really think about what you're going to present, not just to the Board of Aldermen regarding your departments, but give us some little nuggets about somebody within your department, somebody who did above and beyond their job responsibilities, somebody who has an anniversary coming up, somebody who has a newborn child, just something to get us more familiar with your staff. I think it's just a great opportunity for you to basically share what's going on personally within your departments. Lastly, Gina, this is your last official public meeting, correct?
It is.
Is this where I break out stories?
Well,
and
I guess
embarrass
you
you?
can.
This is where I embarrass you now.
I'm kind of hard to embarrass, but I'll take
I've got
the
a few
challenge.
stories. I've got a few stories in the few years that we worked together. But I will save those so they're not on public record. I know that you still have another 2 weeks, so I'm sure we'll probably have some
the office.
type of going away or farewell party for you.
Nope.
Oh, it's happening. Whether it's me showing up with a bottle of champagne at your desk on your last day, it's
You have a
happening.
party or two. That's okay.
But anyway, thank you for all your help, not just with the city, the board, all your years here, but with me personally. You kind of took me under my wing because, as you know, I'm not necessarily a rebel, but I'm kind of a squeaky wheel sometimes.
We've had some good times at conferences.
So yeah, Gina's kind of helped me rein it in a little bit, and yes, we've had quite a few good times at the conferences, and usually it's the Three Musketeers, me, Tara, and Gina, that are out there.
You're gonna miss me in
wreaking havoc
September.
on a state level, mind you. So anyway, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all.
All right, Alderman Rose.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate our chief on recognizing the firemen and the police, and I think it's wonderful that you did that. They were certainly well-deserved, and appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Also, Gina, I don't know what to say.
Well, I was hoping I'd sneak through.
Truly appreciate everything that you've done, not only for the city, but just always being there. And as many times as I've barged in your office, and you're never bothering me, but anyway, it's been a real pleasure. And the best of luck in the future for you. Thank you.
Thanks.
And that's all.
Alderman Ross.
In the spirit of there's never enough recognition, kudos and recognizing the police and the ambulance and those folks. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, to your point, you don't get enough not many of those opportunities. We hope you get very few, if none.
Right.
But when it's there, it's awesome. On top of that, Maddie, congratulations. You came here and made a lot of difference really quick. We expect a lot more, but congratulations. Public Works and Transportation, seen them out cleaning up right-of-ways or trimming right-of-ways. Great work from Rob and his team. It's, good to see that, we're keep taking care of our stuff, and then if somebody else isn't, then we've at least got a leg to stand on. But I would bet there's very few cities that are able to maintain their right-of-ways as well as we do, especially with the terrain that we have. Gina, I didn't realize you were going to try to sneak through.
I was going to try to sneak through my last meeting,
But congratulations. Thank you for everything you've done. Over the years, your financial stewardship has been exemplary, okay? And one of the most important things as a leader is when you leave is who do you leave behind? And when I look out across these folks, you've done a great job of making sure that you've left a legacy. So thank you for all you've done. Good luck, and I hope this is not enough of recognition for what you have done, that there's more to come in the next week and a half or so. And if I need to help with that, I'd be
I've
glad
given
to.
some instructions. I just don't,
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. And I've been kind of out of order tonight.
I was hoping I'd
City clerk, City clerk Tara.
But the way we keep coming.
I wasn't
Yeah.
the only one that was sneaking
Yeah.
through.
Do you have anything,
I
Tara?
was gonna say no and wink at Bob, but haha, got it. No, I'm gonna just talk for Carrie Bell and myself. We've got an amazing team up front. They're working really hard. You got April and Abby and Angie, Annie and Keegan. We're all working really hard getting that done. Customer service is going really well up front. Business license, we have one more liquor license coming, and then they're all done for a year. Thank dear Lord Jesus, they're done. So you should have another one in your inbox. Sign it,
I
get it
approved
out.
it, so you
It's
have
already to you. We
Yep.
get it done. I'll have it on August 8th, and then we're all done for a year with the
August
licenses. August 1st, did I say 8th? It's the 1st. Yeah, well.
She'll have it tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Other than that, everything's great. Gina, I got your number for the next 2 weeks.
I'm down the hall for the next
I know.
couple weeks.
But you've been amazing, great mentor, taught me a lot in the last 5.5 years. I appreciate you. Thank you. That's
City Attorney, Cole Bradbury.
Well, I actually do have stuff to talk about tonight. First of all, since a lot of the work I do usually is bad news or we have to talk about it in closed session, I have some good news. We're working on some legislative priorities for next year. Actually, I was just talking to one of our state reps about the leasing fine legislation as well as some other stuff that will help us with some development going forward, and I'll be happy to fill you in on that in the next few months as we kind of get a bill hopefully an Osage Beach bill drafted. Second, I'm a department of one, so I feel like recognizing my employees is probably a little selfish. But I do want to say that Maddie has been phenomenal since she started and has been very quick and responsive and on the ball, so did want to say that. And last but not least, Gina, I won't be here for your last day. I'll be, or the next meeting. I'll be on vacation with my kids. But it's been a pleasure working with you. I've known you a lot longer than I've been at the city, and don't be a stranger.
I won't.
All right. Well, very good. I just have a few quick things. First of all, Chief, yeah, congratulations. I don't think there was a dry eye up here, so everybody's trying to act tough, but that was just very, very, very moving, and just congratulations.
Thank you.
Dog park, I know that we're going to talk about it later, but I got your email, Eric, right before the meeting, but it looks very impressive. I hope that moves forward. I think it'd be big for our city. And I too, Maddie, wanted to congratulate you. You've done a great job, and I enjoy your smile, your happiness, and you're just on the ball, so I appreciate what you've done so far. And Tara and Gina both, for the planning session, I appreciate all your work. I know, Tara, you're lugging stuff in and out and doing paperwork, and it's quite a deal, but even the board, I appreciate your time yesterday. I think we do a pretty good job. We may not all agree on everything, but we can have our little differences in one aspect, and then it does not affect the next one, so I appreciate that as well. And lastly, Gina, too, I know I've only been here a little over 2 years, but I came in not knowing anything, and you've really helped me and directed me, and I know we've got 2 more weeks to work together, but we'll be visiting with you, and I'm sure we might have to have that luncheon like Ed and I did, and just talk about what we need to look for the next couple of years. Yeah, and lastly, the staff too. I know that with Devon Lake coming in, I appreciate the time you took from Public Works and Airport, and Gene and I, we went around and visited with everybody. So I appreciate your time out of your day, and we didn't make it to the park yet, Eric, but we will do that when she gets back. So. Anyway,
That rain stopped us. It was crazy rain.
it did. It did. Anyway, with that, that's all I have to say. So if we don't have anything else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Alderman Rucker, do I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Hoffman, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting's adjourned. Thanks, folks.